everybody. So this is the networking overview talk, and basically this talk is about how you got the internet in the middle of nowhere. 10 gigabit speeds in a field in this tiny little country when I come from the second largest city in the US, and the best I could do is 1.5 megabit download speeds. So I'm totally amazed at the work that the NOC team has done, especially when you consider it's a technical problem to get this much bandwidth in the fields, but it's really like a people problem also with bureaucracy and politics. And so I'm amazed at what these guys have done, and here they are, the NOC.
Hello, everyone. Okay, it sounds weird. Is that okay? Okay, all right. So this is a very, very small portion of our network team, but someone has to stand here in the end and talk about what we did. This is Arjen Fein, Leon Weber, Attila the Groot, and Elisa. And yeah, we're gonna swap around a little bit, everyone telling you a little bit about every part of the network that you have been using for the past couple of days. Arjen.
Okay, how to get the internet here. The internet is somewhere, and to get the internet here, we started in Amsterdam by getting internet connections from various different parties. So we got internet from Access for All, we got internet from Open Transit, and we got internet from BIT. From Access for All, we got a direct connection to our so-called eBGP router. That's our gateway to the internet. And we had another link to it towards the Amsterdam Internet Exchange. On the Amsterdam Internet Exchange, we could pick up internet from BIT and Open Transit. And we also had so-called direct peerings with Google, Akamai, and GigaNews. The GigaNews, you could have download tons of Usenet news articles. And with Google, you could see what they all meant. And Akamai gives you your favorite website quickly. So the rest of the talk is all about the cloud in the down right corner. That cloud is us. That cloud is this network. And this network is in Vierhouten. And I'm here talking about Amsterdam. So how to get from Vierhouten to Amsterdam? Well, that was a challenge. When we were looking for terrains, I already said, like, I want to be involved with every terrain so I can know if there is some chance of getting internet there. And here in Vierhouten, we had several chances. And so even if we did not have any internet link secured, we choose this location because we had at least 3 options. One option was a fiber of 6 kilometers to Nunspeet, which would have been a challenge as well. And the other were in Vierhouten itself. We knew that KPN and Priority Telecom had fiber here, and so we necked them from get fiber, we want to get fiber for this event. In the end, we got it from KPN, and how did it work out? Well, I don't have a laser pointer, but here is Amsterdam, and here is Vierhouten. And we could get a link from Amsterdam to Putten. And in Putten, we could get a link to Harderwijk. From Harderwijk, we went down to Hunen. That's a place that everybody knows when you learn at school where places are. And then to Uddel, and from Uddel to Vierhouten. Fiber-wise, Amsterdam-Putten is 55 kilometers. Fiber-wise, in this way, Putten-Vierhouten is 70 kilometers, while through the air it's about 12 kilometers. So, yeah, we could pull this off. And in the end, we got here in Vierhouten on our core router. How did that look like? Well, it was not only fiber. Schematically, the circle on the left top corner, that's our eBGP router. And we had to think of some naming scheme, so we called it Schrödinger's box. In between, in Putten, we had to put a repeater because we could not do the completely 135 kilometers of fiber wide away. And if that thing would break down or would act up, it would have killed our network, so we called it poison. And the cat is here in Vierhouten. The last 650 meters of the fiber we laid ourselves on Thursday last week. Then from CAT, the router here on the terrain, we have the rest of our network, and my colleagues are going to talk about that right now. So the wired network here.
Yeah, at some point we found out that getting internet to that co-location there is not enough. So we decided to build a wired network across the whole campsite. And we got some cable for that. It's 560 meters single mode fiber, like the fiber you need to build a real high-speed connections, like 10 gigabit Ethernet. And yeah, those ended up being like our backbone. Yeah, we also had 3.5 kilometers multi-mode and quite a bit copper cable. Yeah, we needed that much because we were going to hand it out to users like all of you. And 5 kilometers of rope. That was quite important, as you'll see in one of the next slides. Yeah, we tried to plan everything in advance. Well, we made some experiences in advance, but it didn't really work out. So we ended up again splicing in the wood on the site. And yeah, we actually had to put connectors on all the fiber we had. And that's quite a lot of work. We luckily had enough people who helped us there. Thank you. Oh, like that. You like the drawing? Martin did it from the knock. It was hilarious. That was a plan to put fiber in trees because we needed a system there. You can see the green stuff there. No pointer here. The green stuff is the 5 kilometers of rope. So, yeah, we actually have an improved version that looks like that, and that's how it ended up. So that's the way how we reached the whole field, and it actually worked. As you probably noticed, we did it like across the whole field. Yeah, we also use sophisticated methods to distribute the stuff over the field. That's what that work looked like. And now that's the plan how it ended up. You can see a map of the whole terrain here. Yeah, the broken blue lines are our fibers. As you can see, we on the right there, that is a KPN building where our uplink goes. And then we had some distribution points, like our core router was here, I guess. And then the fiber was going there and there across the whole field. That was mostly the single mode fiber we used there. And for 1 gigabit connections, we used multi-mode. And at some places, we also used copper where we could use it. Okay, so I think the next part for you.
Okay, at the end of those cables, we obviously have to put something so you guys can connect to it. So we arranged for a whole bunch of hardware up front. We had in the core location where the uplink from KPN ended up, one foundry switch which connected the whole rest of the campsite. And then obviously there's fields where a lot of people camp and a lot of people download, and the co-location where a lot of people put their servers, where we basically knew upfront that this is going to do a shitload of bandwidth. So we arranged for a bunch of distribution switches. They're actually called Mach 4002. Sorry, Zep. The distribution switches are 10 gig capable switches that were connected to a couple of locations which we knew have a high demand. And then we had a whole bunch of HP Procore, a couple of 2626 and a couple of 261042 or something, which we put into all the Datenklos around where you guys actually connected to them. Schematically, it looked like this. Yeah, not much to tell, except for on top you can see, well, it's very detailed, but there is a couple of places like those on top of there that are actually the 10 gig E switches that then fan out to all the access switches around the campsite. So then we had those switches and we had those cables and we had to think of where do we put them in. I mean, how can we store them somewhere so it's accessible for people and kind of safe, because I mean the fibers are going there. If someone trips over them, they break and stuff like that. So we had various ideas about that. One is behind the bar. Behind the bar, people are working, running around, and so we built a fancy upscale facility to put in the 10 gig E switch behind the bar, which was opened very easily to connect new stuff to it. And then obviously known, at least for the people that have been to previous events, the famous Datenklos. They're waterproof, kind of, so even if it rains, it doesn't really matter, nothing happens to it. So we like to use them. They're portable, so you can place them wherever you need in the middle of a campsite, which is basically where the people are, so that makes sense. But we want to make sure that people do not use them as actual toilets, right? You might confuse it if you see that from far away, that it actually looks like a toilet. So we put locks on them as a sort of symbolic value for people to remember, all right, this is not to, you know, I shouldn't go in there and do my job. Some people still didn't quite catch it that those locks are very cheap and more a symbolic kind of thing. So during the event, we got messages like this on our locks. Your lock was picked in L5 seconds. All right, we did not expect anything else. Thank God he didn't do his job there. Then, as always, known at Dutch events, there is our nice friends from the police standing in their van next to the entrance, watching over our event, so to speak. They were not planned to be connected to our network whatsoever, but I think at some point they just got insanely bored because suddenly a cable appeared from their van to the next switch that was located as the ticket entrance. At least they could use the bandwidth too. I mean, why not? And we spoke to the police at the beginning of the event, making out a plan. Well, they were very focused on that we have an abuse plan. I mean, obviously, we do have a sort of abuse plan. We put our 24/7 emergency number into every record, all the RIPE records, and so on, so that if people actually see something happening from this IP space, they are able to find out, reach us, let us know, so we can take action to, well, help them, because we don't really want to harm other people out there in the internet. So, no, we don't want to harm people in the internet. So we agreed with the police on an abuse plan, having this phone number that should be reachable 24/7, and having a notebook where we should write down every single call, details on basically that we have a logbook sort of and know what happened. So let me have a look into this notebook. Well, this is what happened. Nothing. So we did not receive a single abuse call during this entire event. That's cool. Next year, we can show the police the notebook and tell them we don't need it anymore.
How did you confirm the phone was working?
Well, so we got this phone call on our knock deck number saying, ooh, the police was trying to call you and, they couldn't reach you. And we're like, what? No. We tried. So we double and triple checked everything. We called ourselves, we checked the phone numbers, we turned off the phone, called ourselves. It actually SMSes you that you had a missed call. We went out of reach, called ourselves. It still SMSes you or shows you that you had a missed call. So there's no possibility that anyone was calling us. And we didn't hear it. We checked. All right, back to other users. So for realizing which switch is connected where, configuring everything, and basically having an easy way of figuring out which has to be, VLAN-based put into which subnet and so on, we use LLDP. We have users that use LLDP too, we noticed. There was a server connected with a DEC number saying it has various services. Cool, good to know. There were other people, probably by default, just announcing their LLDP messages with Procurve switches without passwords and things like that. You people might want to change that if you bring switches to this event. I did not make a screenshot of that, unfortunately.
Oh, it's my turn again. Yeah, we had some nice hacks. There's a great feature, WPAD. It's basically the way Internet Explorer discovers proxies in the network. So we had great features on the site that allowed someone to get a great hack with that. You can set your DNS record via DHCP, so we had dynamic DNS. And if you set your machine name to WPAD, you will get the DNS record wpad.visitors.har2009.net. And suddenly, the guy got lots of traffic from, all the Internet Explorers that discovered his machine as the valid proxy server in the network. And yeah, we kind of like that hack, because obviously many users just use the default config. And I think, there was a blog post about it, Google for it. I think he had like 800 clients or something, which is amazing. We had another nice thing, don't have a slide for that, obviously, where we got a call from someone who discovered a man-in-the-middle attack, and someone was apparently sniffing all traffic from the lounge. So we were quite happy about that because we thought, yay, some work. As everything else was working all the time, that was boring. So we went to the lounge undercover without our knock hats, and we tried to act normal, After some minutes of checking out what was going on, we found the guy who, was telling us that there was a man-in-the-middle attack, and we could confirm that there wasn't one very quick, and it turned out to be a misinterpretation of some symptoms he had. But we ended up getting drinks there, so it was quite nice. Thank you for that again. And your part.
Okay, the wireless network. Okay, all your laptops probably have a wireless chip in them, so you want to use them. So we got a shitload of equipment from Cisco, and we built the entire wireless network with them. We got 60 APs. You can see them here if you look up. And according to the ring, they are blue. And that means that someone's connected to them. And I'm not that interesting, probably. We got 2 controllers. So you built like a big system. And the access points are just dumb antennas for easy explanation. And since you have more than 1 controllers, you need a system to configure those. And you have the wireless control system for that. And to make it worse, we also got a location appliance. And you can use that to track users, which I'm going to show you later. And the total amount is over 170,000 euros of equipment. So that's nice. Okay, let's show the location appliance. Well, this is a piece of the map, and the blue squares that are users located on the map. We really didn't use it to track any users because it's outside and it might differ 50 to 100 meters, so it's not really useful. But it's nice to track, for example, rogue APs and see your channel assignment and all. But you have to realize that you can use a system like this in an office building, and you can be tracked within 10 meters. So, well, anonymous with your MacBook isn't there anymore. Okay, some statistics. I think the wireless network worked really nice, especially in the halls here. And we peaked about 700 simultaneous users, and we had almost 1,500 unique users on the wireless LAN.
What's on the y-axis?
Oh, the dates, sorry. Yeah, number of users. Okay. Okay, as I said, it worked pretty well here in the halls. And I had in every data enclosure there were another version of these access points with some external antennas. And it worked pretty well on the 5 gigahertz band, but there were some problems on the 2.4 gigahertz. Since you only have 3 non-overlapping channels, you should really take care on how you well, arrange those channels in your network. And unfortunately, we had some rogue APs. And that means that other users took their own AP from home, and they, well, they used it in the network. And we put on the wiki a channel that you can use, but there were over 50 access points that were using our channels. So thank you if someone took his link sys from home. That caused some problems for some clients because they started roaming and disconnecting and stuff. So, and by default, a laptop doesn't use 5 gigahertz. And well, okay. Well, that's it for the wireless, I think.
And now, yes. Now, let's come to the end and show you the pretty graphs. This is the map again. You people, we're really not doing enough traffic. It was sad. We had a 10 gigabit uplink and there was nothing going on. You have to fix that next time. On day 2, we actually started putting up signs. It didn't help a lot. Well, a little bit. So this is the past couple of days on our uplink traffic to the outside world. So yesterday, some people were finally trying to figure out if we have those 10 gig to the outside world. You still cannot see that we do. So, or maybe there is no one out there who actually can give you 10 gigs so you can actually try it. I don't know. It's sad. So this is the total traffic that was going over our core router. So basically from various fields within the terrain between each other and to the outside world as well. That was a little more, but it didn't fill our uplink. Then IPv6 traffic. Impressive, isn't it? Can what? The numbers. Maximum 132.3 megabits per second. That's something, not bad. And then, I personally really like this graph. Sorry, the software was offline for a moment and couldn't catch everything of it. I find it very impressive how our packet size increased with more visitors arriving. I wonder what that has to do with Giga News or any similar. All right, that's it. I want to thank basically every single one who has been helping us put out cables at the beginning of the event. This is our NOC team. We missed a couple of people for the group picture, so not everyone is in there. Thank you very much. And I hope I did not forget to mention anyone here. Thank you. We'll keep that one for next year, in 4 years or something.
Okay, thank you. Next we have the Blinken area people here who are going to show us a nice movie.